Cameron, this is great. This is the first time I've come to your garden. You've been in town now nearly 4 years that we've gotten to know you, and such a great family, you and Melissa and the kids, and I want to sort of see why you got into gardening.
Probably like others, COVID kind of told us that, hey, we should try to be a little bit more self-sufficient. So we set up a goal to be, start to at least be around 50% self-sustaining in terms of vegetables and whatnot. So if we could spend 50% less at the stores and grow it ourselves, that's our first goal.
That's a great goal. Well, I think you certainly are. If I've observed, you're getting there. Now, I want to know who does the organization and the planning and the layout. Is it you or Melissa, or is it a family affair? Or is it just you?
Yeah. So like, none of this would be possible without Melissa. She's pretty much the main planner, and I dig the holes.
Mm-hmm.
She says, I want this to be a garden plot. I say, yes, ma'am, and I'm make it happen.
When you've got 3 beautiful little kids that also, I guess, are involved in this, so it's a family deal.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's families. The kids love picking the berries, strawberries. Yeah, berries. They like picking berries.
Well, we've got several different plots, so let's start with this plot and just explain what's going on. I'm particularly interested in your tomato trellising technique. Let's look at this. You said you don't do the Florida weave. You tried that. So this is the string method.
Yeah, so when we tried the Florida weave a couple years ago, it was hard to get something up so high and for it to have the weave, so things kept falling over, and it just needed constant attention. Whereas in here, every so often when I notice something's like kind of falling over, I just come in here and
wrap it around. String.
And you make sure you want to do it loose, because I learned from last year I made them way too tight, and they kind of shriveled up.
Okay, so we've got compartmentalized compost bins.
Yes.
Made out of pallets, right? This looks like your newest weeds that you pulled up, so that's your green stuff. You've got some chips mixed in with green, so you're getting your combination right. And as your pallets rot, you just replace them and do it again. Now, do you turn it like your YouTubes tell you, or you just let it sit like we do?
Yeah, so when I started this 3 years ago, it started off with 1, and I thought that'd be so cool to have multiple, so I can just every week or so turn it, but that's a lot of work, and so I don't do that anymore. That's just
Mother Nature will do it.
That's backbreaking.
Well, we rounded the corner on the way to your other garden, and I see this Rainwater collection gizmo. I really like this. Tell me what this is.
And what led to this was Melissa, one of these mornings after a storm, we looked out and it was like everything had grown like 4 inches, 6 inches after a storm. Mm-hmm. And it dawned on us like,
rainwater.
Rainwater. Like there's something different about rainwater versus city water. I mean, I know everyone says it, but like it was truly like eye-opening to see what rainwater, like true storm rainwater can do. And so that was I was like, well, let's get more of that.
Right. Here we are at the larger main garden, as he calls it. It's actually fenced a little bit, mostly to keep their dog out, but the dog's not a problem. I love to see flowers mixed in. You've got beans, you've got peppers, tomatoes, asparagus, Swiss chard. You got a good mixture of things. Very easy to walk around and get to. It's not too crowded. Your kids can get around in here and not break up things. So where will you put your fall and winter crops? Do you slowly take things out, or do you have another place that you would do lettuce or broccoli or spinach?
That's a Melissa question.
Well, that's a Melissa question, okay.
But I mean, we usually will reuse stuff. So like the zinnias here, they just kind of reseeded by themselves.
Yeah,
they
keep coming up.
But in the fall, that entire bed was garlic and carrots. And the leafy greens, you can kind of see some of the leafy greens still got a lot of carrots. This whole thing was garlic, softneck. We had a really good year for garlic.
Rotate.
So we just kind of rotate, and this has kind of always been tomatoes as well as this area, but sunflower seeds, that just popped up out of nowhere. So a big one, which we like.
Well,
so,
I like your blueberries along the edge there. They
Yep.
could be
And then-
easily picked by the kids. You've got some grapes.
And we love beans.
Beans, yeah.
Beans the kids love to pick, and they also, as I've learned, are a legume, right? So they put nitrogen into the soil. So
You must have been to a class.
I actually must have been to a class. You're right. I've learned so much from you guys.
Maybe try some trellising of your beans next year, where they're
think
up a
so.
little higher and
I think so.
easier
Yeah.
to pick. Everybody with young children needs to try strawberries. And tell me, you said you started with just the very few at the top.
Yeah. So this was all just a hill, and I saw a YouTube video about something called a swale, and so in order to control water, and I thought, hey, this would be a good opportunity to plant some strawberries. So every strawberry that you see here, I don't know, 20, 30, maybe 30, all started with, I think 10 or 15 up on the top row there. Some of them have died, but every single year I'll come and around maybe in a little bit, I'll come and pot. You can see all these pots here.
Yep.
We go and pot the biggest children, I call them, and because strawberries, they all have these little runners here, and so once they start having roots, then you can actually like cut them. And the first year I did
the cord.
Yeah, the first year I did it too soon, and they all died. So I learned. Then the next year I let the roots get a little bit more established, and then planted them in the fall into actual ground.
This
This
great.
is gold to children. My kids love every morning. Hey, we want to have strawberry with oatmeal. Can you go and get some? They'll run out here and pick the strawberries.
Yep.
We've instructed them to pick not the ones with white on the It's a lot of fun. So.
Well, they'll know how to shop in the grocery store too. They'll know
Yeah.
what not to buy. Okay, Cameron, we're now at roses and thorns. That's the good and the bad. Let's start with the good. What have you, in the last 2 years that you've been doing this, what have you learned and what have you surprised yourself in your goal towards producing more of your own food for your family and having fun?
Yeah, so I guess the one thing that comes to mind, positive thing that comes to mind, is just how much more growth just in general of all things in the garden that's occurred the third year versus the first year. Some about that just time and microorganisms and stuff that goes way over my head, but seems to, happen.
Soil improved.
Yeah, the soils seems to have been improving. The peppers, onions, garlic has been a lot better. Not this one. That's a rare one. I think the chicken's got that one. And then random tomato plants that have, I guess, reseeded themselves.
Volunteers.
Volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
That's been awesome. That's been a lot of fun. So just
most of your flowers were volunteers.
yeah,
right?
all these flowers reseeded themselves. We planted them like 2.5 years ago, and they're still coming back. So
well, that's
it's a lot of fun.
That's self-sufficiency
Yeah.
right there. Well, what about your thorns? What have you got to work on for next year?
So we got to keep the chickens out of this garden somehow. They've ruined a lot of the beans and all that stuff. Probably the biggest thing though are these darn squash borers. The bane of my existence. Squash bugs. I guess there's a difference, right?
Plant squash early.
Yeah.
Be done by July 1st.
Yeah.
Pull them up, throw them away, put you some new seeds in the ground, and have some September and October squash.
That's what we got to do.
Break the life cycle of them, and when you pull them up, put them in the garbage, not in those good compost bins you got. Well, it's been great to see your garden and to see your other property. We hadn't been able to even cover it all, but I'm just amazed from the first time we met a few years ago how much you've learned and how much you've been interested in learning, and it just shows. It shows, and it's not perfect, it's not clean, and it's not neat. I like that. You got Bermuda grass.
Backyard
that's okay.
garden.
It's a backyard garden.
Right.
But
and we couldn't have done any of this without y'all at Renfro's. I'll tell you that much.
Well,
so the knowledge that you guys get, and I've been to I think like 2 of your courses and learned so much. My wife's been to the seed starting one and learned a lot, and it's led to this, right?
Yep.
So that's what it's all about.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and we've enjoyed it, and we'll come back in a few more years, and you'll have all of this other land planted.
Oh my goodness.
All right.